I get really angry at people, and this happened. I was talking to Rachel about this, but I get really angry when somebody says like, tell them to drop some tile at my house. I know how to do it, no problem. Could you come help me with some legwork? Sure, no problem. I show up. What are you doing? Well, I just got to figure out how to lay it on the ground. Okay. Do you know how to do that? I've never done it, me personally. No. I thought you had done it. Oh, I helped somebody once lay tile. When you told me the story, you'd done it a billion fucking times. Now that we're standing in your fucking house, you're telling me you've never once laid tile? Oh no, I helped them move the boxes in. Because like, you have to check out how you lay tile. You have to lay it to your eye, you have to lay it to the center of the room, or however you're going to lay it out.
Yeah.
You drop the first row and you build off of that first row. Mm-hmm. That's how I've always done it. This is actually a story that I did with somebody, because they said I've done tile a ton of times. So I'm over there, I'm like, so now I get to do tile at your house, and you're the one that's done it a ton of times. And the reason it annoys me, and it might be petty, this is definitely petty on my part, but later when the story's being told, oh yeah, Tubbs came over to help me lay all this tile, I'm like, and the reason it makes me mad is because like I said, I'm petty. But when I'm thinking in my head, like, either you're fucking lazy or you're full of shit. Yeah. There's no other choice. Because if you say you know how to do this and you've done it a billion times, because I'll say, like, I don't know how to do shit. I've never done this before. I watched some videos. I went to YouTube University. Not your channel. What Dale called it that one time.
Yeah.
And I did as much research as I possibly could, try to find whatever could happen and then I approached it. I didn't just fucking kick down the door to Lowe's and say, hey, I'm gonna go and drop some tile, I'm gonna throw it in the truck. Like, because I once saw somebody do it. Like, oh, I fucking hate it when people do that to me.
You walked through Lowe's with tile in your car and you went, is this the right stuff? Is this what I should buy?
No, I walk into Lowe's like Ron Swanson. Can I help you, sir? I know more than you.
That's how I feel walking out of Best Buy.
I got a great Best Buy
story. I gotta hear this.
So I had an issue at Best Buy one time with my wife, and I turned into kind of an asshole, but mostly because I had asked for help like 4 times in the course of 45 minutes. It's way too long to be in fucking Best Buy if all you want to do is buy a laptop.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got what we needed. There was a bit of a struggle, and I go with my sister, and she's like, I just want to have a laptop. I just see my super cool cut.
Yeah, I saw it on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Ever.
It's pretty rad.
It was mine for...
It was never hers.
10 minutes.
Where'd you get that cup?
Skinwalker Labs. And Flaming Dirt. Mm-hmm. Flaming Dirt on Instagram. Check them out. So we go to Best Buy, and I was like, my sister needs a basic laptop. Emails. She might be doing school in a while, and it's a salesman, and he's really young. And I remember what it used to be like to sell people. I used to work in sales.
You have to upsell as much as.
No. It's not. That's the problem. Is he wasn't upselling, and he wasn't giving us what we wanted. And that's why I looked at my sister. I was like, yeah, you know what? We're just looking around anyway. And she kind of picked up on the keys. She's like, all right, let's go. But he's like, what kind of laptop? I was like, basic, like just basic. Checking emails every once in a while, transferring pictures, not processing Photoshop. I don't need a high processor, like bare bones laptop. Aaron, I'm sure have you ever worked on computers or worked with computers?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit.
If I just want a bare bones laptop, I mean like basically a netbook. How much money am I gonna spend? Bare bones,
$200.
That's what I thought. But I'm stupid, and Best Buy knows more. The guy at Best Buy knows more. And he's like, well, these have this processor. I was like, yeah, she's not processing any of this stuff. He's like, well, she said she might be going to school. I was like, yeah, in a year. He's like, this comes with Office 360. I'm like, yeah. And it lasts a year.
Yeah.
And she's going to school maybe next year. Well, it'll already be on there. It expires in a year. Well, you get a better discount if you just get it now. You're absolutely right, but if she's not going to use it, it makes no sense. And I just kind of stepped off, and I could feel myself being an asshole. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? And I just sat there, like, didn't cross my arms, stayed open, like. And he explained all that stuff to my sister. My sister could see I'm annoyed, and she's like, oh, okay. Because what he was telling her was, well, you might as well buy this laptop because it has the newest processor and blah blah blah, and that's gonna last you a lot longer. I was like, she doesn't need that though. Yeah, but in 3 years, and let me explain to you, as a person who has worked on computers, Aaron, his explanation for how laptops work. He goes, it's like the one you're buying has an older processor in it, and it's a little bit slower. I was like, well, the processors, I think it was like a Core i5, Core i3, or something like that.
Even an i3 is awesome
It
if
was
that's
an,
all you're doing.
it was an i3, I think.
Even a first gen i3.
And he's
is
like,
perfect.
i7 are the newest ones?
Yeah.
And it's an i7 he's trying to sell her on. And I'm like, she's not doing any of that. And I process photos.
Yeah.
Remember those computers?
Yeah.
Weren't exactly running fucking. Nobody's playing World of Warcraft on them.
No.
Like, they sucked, but they ran Photoshop.
Yeah.
So that's one in my head. That's my reference point. Like, this will be fine. So he's like, that one has an i7, this one has an i3. I was like, yeah, but she's not really doing anything on it. He goes, let me explain it to you in terms you'll understand. His words. It's like a chef. If a chef went to school and got a degree, and he's 18, and he just got, or he's, whatever school is he's gonna get out of college, and he has a degree, and then you have this chef that had a lot of experience. Who are you gonna go? Has never had schooling but has a lot of experience. Who are you gonna go with? And my sister's like, the experienced one. Well, the one that has a degree is very young and he can learn a lot more. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? This is the actual example, almost verbatim. And
That's
I was
the
like,
stupidest example.
and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, a younger mind is gonna learn a lot more. I'm like,
I don't
okay.
want him learning while making me food.
I was like, I don't understand. And he's like, well, the processor's better because it's newer. And I was going to say something, and I stopped myself because I was going to go from, like, I'm annoyed to I'm being an asshole. And we got in the car, and my sister's like, why'd you shut up? I'm like, 'cause I want to ask, what kind of car do you drive? Why drive a Honda? Well, what kind of car do you want to drive?
Yeah.
Probably like a Lexus or something, right? Why don't you just get a Lexus? Well, I can't afford one. No, but at some point, you're going to need a Lexus anyway, so just pay for it now. Well, I can't afford it. But that's the same argument you're making.
Yeah.
My sister's like, I can't afford that. This is my price range right now, and I think she capped it off even $500. And I was like, you don't even need to spend that much. If all you're gonna do is checking bullshit emails and jumping online, maybe $400. And she ended up finding one of those the Windows one that has it's a tablet that has
Surface?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Well, no, the smaller ones. She didn't find one of those really happy at like Walmart because I was like, we're not going back to fucking Best Buy. I'm gonna lose my shit. But I was like, that's the argument he was making, because she was telling him like I can't afford one of those because the fucking laptop he was trying to sell her. We're at the, let's say $200 like the. Why doesn't Google laptop sell? Because they're like 100 and change, all the way up to like the $500 section.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you're gonna want one of these. It's an i7 for like $1,200. I was like, I told you what we needed. He's like, well, when you go to school, you'll be able to do that. I was like, yeah, I could also fucking process video on that. Not things we're gonna be doing. Why don't you own a Ferrari? Well, I can't afford it. Yeah, but you're gonna want one anyway, and it's gonna hold its value. So just buy a Ferrari right now. Well, I can't afford it. And my sister's like, I wasn't planning on spending that much money. This motherfucker looks at my sister and says, do you know anybody with a Best Buy credit card?
Hey everybody, welcome to the Work in Progress podcast. I'm Dale.
Rachel.
All right, I'm here by myself.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Tubbs.
And we have Aaron with us today.
Hello.
We've told you guys about Aaron, all 6 of our listeners.
I did a lot of cussing about Best Buy.
We, what?
I feel
They
kind of
don't
bad because I did
sponsor
a lot
us.
of cussing about Best Buy.
Oh,
They
they
didn't
don't
sponsor
sponsor
us.
No.
That's okay.
So yeah, Aaron's the one that we talked about. He did leatherworking for Moby's Leather. And he made my wallet, which I think we posted on the Instagram.
We did.
Made
And
one
Yeah,
for
check
your,
that.
made one for your sister too.
okay, and he made one for my sister.
I made I made the cuff.
Oh, leather. Well, yeah.
Cuff, yeah.
Did you say hi to the microphone?
Hi, microphone.
There you go. So, what are we gonna talk about today?
No, only me.
In addition to, okay,
Well, okay. It's been a while since
it has
since we've done a podcast. So
It's been like 2 months
yeah.
at least.
So what have you been up to in the 2 months, Dale?
Whew, a lot.
Anything good? Fun?
Well, the past like 3.5 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, been off work, which I've been enjoying. Working on house projects,
Nice.
fixing up my bedroom.
So you're gonna come back?
When you go back to work?
On Tuesday.
Ever?
Yeah.
You took a trip
Yeah.
to go see your sister.
Oh yeah. I got to go over there, and that was fun.
Did you guys do any artwork together?
We did actually. We made some masks,
Oh, nice.
and
Nice.
I gotta PayPal her some money so she can ship it, which I will do
Did you guys
eventually.
take pictures or anything?
Yeah, I will show the microphone. I'll show you guys in a little bit. But we made since it was Christmas time, we decided to make some Krampus masks.
Oh, fun.
And they're pretty cool. We could post those on the Instagram. They're not painted yet or anything, but
Were you like, I'll take lead because I made a sculpture?
I know all about Krampus.
Tell us what
So-
have you been up to? Oh, I'm sorry, Dale.
Oh,
Were
no,
you
I was-
done?
I was gonna say that
totally- You're done. Thank you.
No, Dale, stop talking. My turn. Nothing really. I made some cutting boards for Christmas. I made my sister some Lazy Susans before I left town for a while. I had to skip on child support. Just joking. Where am I? I had a. Oh, something sad happened to me.
Oh yeah.
Someone broke in my backyard and stole some tools.
Did they break in or just jump?
They
in?
jumped the fence. But break-in sounds more like I'm a victim, so they broke in. Violated the sanctity of my backyard, and my pit bull lab mix was sitting sleeping on my leg. So, you know, dogs, they're the best. And then I took 2 weeks off work and just chilled at my house. Mostly because somebody stole my tools.
what about
How
you,
about
Rachel?
you?
Oh,
Oh,
I was going to ask Aaron. I don't really care about Rachel.
well,
Just joking, Rachel. You're good.
took a trip not too long ago. That was fun, and then started to get back into the woodworking when we got back, and also decided to dump a bunch of money into the house that I don't have, and
Did
fix
you
it
dump a
up.
bunch of money you didn't have or a house you didn't have?
I had the house.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have the house, but I just decided to open up the kitchen, and old Tubbs helped us out there because he's the only tall person in this town. And yeah, there's some more projects that are going to be going on, but I'll have to consult my bank account for that. But yeah, Aaron, you've never been on.
We
so-
started doing this podcast like earlier this year, Aaron. What have you done since then?
Earlier this year, like a week ago.
Earlier last year.
Oh.
That's good.
Coming in with deep cuts, I dig it.
Just working on house projects. I started a YouTube channel. I have 5 videos so far, 39 subscribers, which is
Woo!
what's your channel called?
yes. Tube University.
They're pretty awesome videos. You guys should check them out.
It's so funny.
Dale kind of hesitated. I better check those videos out.
Huh?
Yeah, you know
You
what?
kind of hesitated. Yeah, they're great. Serious
I
face.
was trying not to talk over somebody else.
Oh, I'm just fucking-
And I won some Doritos contest, and I got an Xbox One X.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
How many
I never
videos?
win things.
I bought 40,
That's good.
41 I bought 41 bags of Doritos, which cost $82, and I got an Xbox One X with a year of Game Pass,
Nice.
which is awesome.
Dude, that is fucking
Yeah.
legit.
What'd you do with all those Doritos? Did you eat them all? Or?
Did you start a fire with them? Because they're great at it.
I heard they are.
Oh, they are.
No, I gave a lot away. I would take like 10 bags to work a day for a couple days, and then I stashed a few bags in my closet. Those ended up getting eaten. I
Like
let-
somebody in the closet? Or
Yeah. I went back to Goodwill, they were gone.
Trial
Something
we
that
don't
I'm
talk
getting
about.
I let my oldest daughter take 5 or 6 bags to school every other day. They eventually got all eaten. Here, I'll show you.
Waste not, want
That's
not.
cool.
Let me pull up a picture of all the Doritos. So
Shit, earphones over
this is my
Oh
cart.
yeah, you put it on Facebook.
Yeah,
Didn't
this is my cart full of Doritos.
Jeez.
you? Did they look at you?
Oh,
funny?
wow.
Like,
Yeah, they all looked at me like, yeah, this guy's sweating. He's a big fat fatty. He's gonna eat all these.
So
And
you
then-
bought all those bags all at once?
I bought all the bags all at once.
Oh, wow.
And then what I did was the codes are on the inside of the bag. So you have to open the bags, and then I would pour them into 1 gallon Ziploc bags.
Oh, okay.
So I had 41, well, it comes in a pack of 40. So I had 41 gallon Ziploc bags, and then 2 of those bags were like overstuffed because there was, and
You just crunch them down.
you want more?
Could have made Dorito enchiladas.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
yeah, everybody was coming up with all these Doritos ideas after the Doritos had already
Oh, yeah, you could have done
been
that
gone.
for 2
Oh, you know what you
University.
should have done? Well, now you tell me.
In my defense, I didn't know you were hoarding Doritos. You weren't actually hoarding them, but
But after all the Doritos I've eaten, I still love Doritos.
Good call.
It's hard to go wrong with.
I like dipping them
Default
in
nacho
sour
flavor.
cream. That's my
Oh yeah,
shit.
that's amazing. In
What?
sour cream.
Dipping them in sour cream.
Should dip them in cream cheese. It's pretty good too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
calling
Sounds
the
good.
police.
I'm calling the police.
So, Aaron, I have a question.
Yes.
Just to start off the whole podcast, what is art to you? What defines art in your eyes?
A way to express the way to me it's the way to express myself and get something out of my system physically, that have a tangible product when I'm finished with it, whether it's a video, which video is not really tangible, but you know what I mean.
It is consumable.
Drawing something, making a piece of music, doing something, being creative, and then having something to show for it. Because everybody says, "Oh, Aaron, you're so artistic," and whatever. I get bored a lot, and then when I don't have an outlet, I get really antsy. But then I also want to learn different things because I don't want to say like, "Oh, YOLO," but you do only live one time, and I'm not gonna say once. You do only live one time, and YOLOT.
Ebola.
And there's a lot of things to learn and a lot of things to do if you're willing to learn. You're willing to do the things that you want to do. So, growing up, I've always wanted to make video games. I always wanted to make music. I was always drawing when I was a kid. Just you name it. And then when I got older, and then more technology and stuff, I learned how to do videos and photography, and that's like my passion now. And then I'll watch some videos online. People do something with leather. I was like, oh, that's awesome. That looks pretty easy. I bet you I could figure out how to do that because I know how to sew, which is something that I learned before. I was like, oh, I want to learn how to sew. So I was like, hey, babe, my wife, hey, babe, you mind if I buy a sewing machine? She's like, I don't care what you buy. So
you wanted to buy her a sewing machine, so you would have to say I bought myself a sewing machine?
Hey, hon, I got you a sewing machine for your birthday. I know you didn't ask for it, but we'll learn together. And then she's never used it. So, I mean, it's basically the same. If you know how to use a sewing machine or sew by hand, then you can pretty much do leather.
I don't know how to do
It's
that.
just the finishing of it is a little bit different because the leather is a lot thicker. You could burnish it, dye it, stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. So then that's what got me into leather. And then as far as video, I love movies ever since I was a kid. I've just been a huge movie buff my whole life, and I've always thought it'd be cool. I want to write my own movie, or I want to film something. I want to make a cartoon, and I ended up making my own cartoon. And Dale did the voice of one of the characters.
Oh yeah.
And we actually recorded it in this room, the audio. And the technology, was finally became available to where anybody could make videos now, and that's pretty much it. And then they have YouTube now, and I was like, hey, everybody else can do it, but I want to learn how to do it too. So it's kind of long-winded.
No,
it's
it's
good.
good.
No.
Remember that first-person zombie movie we started making?
Yeah, that was the first. I think I still have that video.
Really?
I'm like, yeah,
That
I have
was
to
a
find.
long
I have to
time
find
ago.
that.
How long ago was that? Like 10 years ago?
2000. Yeah, I think it was 2008.
It was cool. We were way ahead of Hardcore Henry.
Oh, totally. Because it was first person, and it was awesome. Didn't have any audio, but
Yeah.
So what's your favorite genre of movies? Is that how you?
Yeah.
Gene Air.
Is that how you say in the biz?
Jeanery.
In the movie biz genre?
Man, I like a lot. I think I have more dislike than I have. You're my favorite, I guess.
We like dislikes. What do you like?
I don't really like westerns, and I don't like war movies. They're boring. Like Saving Private Ryan and Platoon and stuff. It's super boring to me because I can't relate. I mean, Fifth Element's one of my favorite movies. I can't relate to that either, but I like it.
Well, that's because that's an incredible
It is.
movie.
It is. I mostly like art house films. I like independent movies, or movies that are like shot like independent movies, like focus films, stuff like that. Like Lost in Translation.
I have seen.
That's my favorite movie of all time. So because it was shot on like no budget, It was shot kind of run and gun. Like they didn't have permits to shoot it, in Kyoto and stuff or Shibuya. So that was pretty cool. And it's more when you have like less of a budget, like low budget movies, you really have to tell the story because you don't have the budget to be fancy with it.
Yeah.
You gotta be really good at what you're selling.
You gotta be super fancy, guys.
I was just curious because
He likes musicals.
he
So-
hates abstract art.
I don't like abstract.
Yeah, me neither.
Is it art? I don't think it's art.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, I can appreciate it. I can appreciate how other people would like it. It's just not for me. Like Jackson Pollock. I have no idea why his stuff is worth millions of dollars, but to each their own.
It's about how it makes you feel, Aaron. You uncultured swine. I'm trying not to look
Can
at
you
Aaron
pay
because
for-
everybody's facing you.
If the value is based on how it makes you feel, then you can get them pretty cheap.
I think it was in that Bill Tracci documentary.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about something is a piece of artwork valuable until you put a price on it. Okay. How else can I explain? Okay, so say like I do a painting, I die because that's when artwork becomes valuable.
Yeah.
Is it valuable until a dollar amount is equated to how valuable it is? I mean, does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
I think so.
I think it's
I don't
value
know.
based
Well,
on
it's kind
novelty.
of- Yeah, well, I think that when the artist dies, that means there's not going to be any more, which means there's a limited amount. So it's kind of like precious metals and stuff. If there's a limited amount, the value goes up.
That makes sense.
It just gave me an idea. I'll fake my own death and then promote my artwork as the artwork of a dead person. I'll make money off of it.
Good idea.
Or just name your
Just
company.
kidding, I'm not going to do that.
Just name your company Dead Man Art.
Yeah. How was your week, Nancy?
Both wonderful ideas.
I tried to ignore eye contact with you because when you were talking, everybody was looking at you. I went like that. I was like, look away from him because it looks like we're interrogating him.
Well, I wanna. So for the new change, as far as like my aspect with, HSB Woodworks, I think it was Liam Hoffman, the blacksmith. He did a quick little video on I think Instagram, and he was talking about like when you're running a business, when you're doing custom work, you should do as much as possible, all different kinds of things, because over time you're going to figure out what you want to focus on. So he was taking all kinds of commissions on different things that had to do with blacksmithing, and eventually he narrowed it down to making axe heads and axes and some knives here and there. And so I know I've just with doing the woodworking, we were taking all different kinds of commissions, and I started to discover what I was interested in versus what I'm not. And so making like big furniture items, that's not my thing. That's a lot of time to dedicate just to one project, which a lot of woodworkers can do because they have the big shop to do or the big machinery to be able to whip it out faster.
Phrasing.
And so I know for me, like focusing on things that I can gear towards more art, not gear towards, but keep it artistic. That's what.
Stay in your artistic lane.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with the woodworking.
So basically just cornhole boards.
Oh God. Fuck cornhole boards. Oh man. Yeah, that was fun. So anyways, so that's where Tracy and I were focusing more on like things that we enjoy making versus like trying all these different things, because we finally figured out like with our time and everything else what we can put our full 100% effort towards. So I think that's cool that you should try to do as much as possible in the beginning, then narrow it down, because you never know what you like and don't like.
What was the question?
So,
Was it
yeah,
long silence?
I know that people have.
You're taking lead on this, Rachel. I like it.
Thank you.
Somebody
Thank you.
needs to. I think we're a little rusty.
So, Dan, I know when you did your
Pennywise?
Pennywise, thank you.
You're welcome.
People bombarded you with different things.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think, like, over doing all these different sculptures, you've realized what you want to focus on? And
I don't know. For some reason, when I get a lot more requests, well, it's usually stupid stuff that people request, but they always want to see their. It's understandable though. Like they want to see their favorite Pokemon sculpted. I'm like, that doesn't interest me. So, I think as far as like my YouTube channel and my sculpting goes, I'll kind of follow the way Johnny Cash talked about writing music. So do one for you and one for them. So just kind of alternate it, you know, do one for everybody else, then make sure you do one that you really want to do that helps where you're creative.
So was Pennywise for you or was it for them?
It was more for the YouTube hits, I guess. But I did like the way Bill Skarsgård looked as Pennywise. He looks awesome.
It was a great movie.
And I saw it as a challenge, but it wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. I still want to do a series of pirates, like as realistic as possible,
Nice.
and there's a lot of other things I want to work on. But so
You should do a freak show.
yeah,
Are we ever gonna do brick wall booths?
no. Probably
Think of
not.
other people sometimes.
So I don't know if that makes sense.
yeah,
A lot of people, like in the comments on YouTube, definitely had good ideas for it, but I mean, a lot of times when it comes to making a video for the sculptures, it's a long process. It's like move the camera around and
Yeah, it is very well done too. Like
oh, thanks man.
I don't see how you do it because I would have just left the camera at one spot and then just done my thing. But you had the different angles. Then like I don't know. It was nuts.
You were directing what you were sculpting.
You were directing while you were sculpting, and that was super impressive. Like I showed everybody at work, and they're all blown away. So it was cool. Sent out a mass email. Check you guys. Aaron, why are you spamming us with this? It was cool, but stop it.
one thing that, speaking of videos, so on Instagram they have the little video feed up top, right? You can see like their little stories. Yeah. So one thing that I've noticed about a trend I started to see is that the woodworkers that I follow, they'll be like, okay, I'm working on this piece. Should I do this or this? Yes or no? And I started to see more and more people doing it. I'm like, when did we start to get away from like creating for yourself versus creating for somebody based off somebody's opinion? I was just like, this is starting to look like either what's that Black Mirror, like those types of
Really? I know exactly the feeling you're talking about. I thought it was so much like The Voice.
yeah,
Because it's like, what do you guys want me to do? Option A or option B?
Yeah.
Look, I did option B. Cool.
yeah, and I was just
I'm not
like,
part of that. I don't get it.
yeah, and I didn't know if that was going to be a new thing where this is where social media is going to progress into, is that instead of saying, hey, this is what I'm working on, you know, if you like it, like it. If you don't, you don't. Instead of like, got these 2 pieces of wood, what should I do with them? Should I make a clock or should I do this? I'm like,
Well, that's actually like what I've noticed, like when it comes to like tips and tricks for YouTube channels from a lot of like the real big YouTubers, like that's like for social media, that's the way to grow your social media the biggest is when people feel like they can interact with you. So I think that's a lot of the times what it is, but it's not always that successful. It just comes across as desperate.
I just think like I'm gonna interact with people in regular life. I'm not gonna do it online.
Yeah.
yeah,
I try to get people to interact with me on my channel. I mean, yeah, I don't have the subscriber numbers yet. We're like, hey, let me know down in the comments what you want me to do on my next video. Hasn't happened once.
did you get
Can I tell you
spammed?
something fucked up?
Not one time. So every week I'm like, people are like, hey, what are you gonna do for your next video? I don't know. I have to figure it out because nobody's telling me.
I was laughing so hard because I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody ever comments on our videos. How can we get people to comment? And then I saw yours and I was like, oh, we should do this. Yeah, I gotta open YouTube up to have comments, write it out, and then hit submit. You know what? Tomorrow. I'll be at the DMV anyway.
Put that on the schedule.
And you saw the comments I left? That's on a piece of shit.
But I have noticed,
0
like,
comments.
if I, under my Tube University account, if I comment on some of the videos that I like, because I don't ever really comment. So I can't be asking for comments if I'm not going to be commenting. So then I get on my favorite channels, and whenever they post a video, I comment. I'm like, hey, that's awesome, or this is great, or whatever. And I don't do it for the subscribers. I don't expect people to see the comment and go, what's Tube University? And like try to get it. But it actually works.
Yeah.
I have gained subscribers by just commenting on like one of my favorite YouTubers' videos. So, because I was like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll end up pinning it at the top. And then it gets like 800 likes. And then that day I'll get like 10 more subscribers.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. I don't do it for the subscribers, like I said. I just do
Sounds
it because...
really heavy leaning towards you do it for the yeah.
Do it for the likes.
No, because like you said, I don't want to be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
No,
guys.
I am a hypocrite though, because you're talking about actually going out and commenting. Because like one of the like Dale gets really pissed off at me on 9gag. He's like, "Do you post anything?" I'm like, "No." I just he's like, "Why?" I saw the passion in his eyes when he got mad. It was real. No, he's like, "Why don't you contribute?" I don't want to.
Well, because he's always showing me like funny pictures of stuff that he's taking pictures of, and like memes that you make or something.
You should get on Reddit instead of 9gag.
I'm on Reddit too.
Because you'll see the stuff like at least 2 weeks earlier.
I made the mistake of showing Rachel Reddit, and I was like, "It has everything." I didn't send her anything about Reddit.
Oh God.
And she was like, "Show me hairy women."
No, it was hairy armpits.
No.
It was hairy armpits because you're like.
What you said and what I typed are two different things.
I know, but he's like, pick a topic, and I was like, I don't know, because I have a thing with hair. And I was like, hairy armpits. Oh my God. Some of the things that
type
he
in hairy
showed me,
armpits.
I was like, oh, it was horrible.
She's like, look at it. You made me do this.
I was like, we need to stop now.
Because I have Reddit and I have Reddit pics where it's just pictures.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll go read the blogs. It's like the different fucking topics they talk about. Like on the woodworking ones, on the metalworking ones, they're like paragraphs of just information. Like, do this, check this out, try this, check this book out, read this, go to this. So they're really useful.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to show her that. And after I showed her all this disgusting shit the next day, I was like, hey, I feel like I kind of popped your cherry on Reddit the wrong way. Let me show you some actual woodworking stuff. And I told her like woodwork or something. Woodworking, or woodwork, something like that. And I was just going through the different stuff people make. And she's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, yeah, it's like the internet. There's everything there. There's like,
we saw
God in the cloud. And then is that dude choking himself while jacking off? Yes. Both of those things. Not too far apart.
There's a subreddit called 50/50. Have you heard of that?
No.
Where they submit 2 different links. One is something really horrendous, and one is something really funny or cute or awesome. And then it's basically 50/50. Reddit randomizes it. And then you can click on it one day, and it'll be one thing. And then you can click on it a day later and click on it, and it'll be completely different. And you're like, oh! So it'll say, like, oh, a picture of a man getting his nuts caught in a zipper. Or a picture of a squirrel doing something cute. I'm like, I want to see both, but not really. Oh, thank God. It's a squirrel. It's a squirrel.
Well, like I have the web browser on my history cleared. I constantly clear it, or I have it to set to private so it doesn't store anything. And people make jokes like, "Is that for porn?" I'm like, no, I look up whatever I have curiosities about. I don't give a shit. Like, we were talking about, I think it was coworker about like making a joke about STDs. And I was like, I've never actually seen what herpes looks like. I remember seeing the school picture, which just looks like a pimple.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, and I looked it up. I was like, that's pretty disgusting. Huh. Oh, on the genitals. Great. That guy's got it on his nose. That doesn't look like fun. Like, just I was like, oh. And like, that's why. 'Cause I don't care if people find out I watch porn. No, doesn't bother me at all.
Well,
but when it comes to like, why do you What's the herpy? I was curious what they look like. Do you have? No, I was.
Well, you can browse in incognito mode, right? You don't have to.
Yeah, on the apples you can too. On the apples.
Because on the fruit phone.
That reminds me of a your clothes look scam joke. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Your clothes look scam. Well, it came out of the closet this morning.
I just got it. Sometimes I'm slow.
Well, sometimes. I just air quoted sometimes with my eyes, if you guys didn't notice.
Oh, so we have an amazing story. I know it's really off topic, but Tubbs and I went to the Space and Science Museum in Huntsville. And we went to the IMAX theater, and we hiked all the way up to the top of the
Felt
IMAX
like Mount
theater.
Fuji.
Have you've been to IMAX, right?
I've been to where?
IMAX theater?
Was it
Yes.
IMAX theater?
Okay, so you know how you have to get to the top? It's like
Yes.
you have to, climb.
There's usually an elevator that.
We didn't get that.
Okay.
That
That's not
theater.
the one we had the option for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we got to the top, and then all of a sudden,
No,
all these kids.
Sell the story, Rachel.
No, you tell.
We show up 10 minutes before. Let me paint the scene for you. We purchased. I thought you were going to clear your glass and look at me. I was like, wow, that's serious shit. No,
No, you spit when you talk. So
dude, sorry. It's the only time I spit. Anyway, we purchased the tickets and we thought we were gonna go right into it, but it turned out that it was just offset on time, so we had to go we had to wait like 30 or 15 or 20 minutes. No, it was longer than that. It was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we get there 15 minutes before. Grab soda or something.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
Go into the theater. 15 minutes. No, not even. Probably 10 minutes before anything, and there's nobody in there except like a mom and kid right in the middle. It's a big round thing. I've never been to IMAX, but this is big and round. And you have to walk.
yeah, I've
the
only
fuck
been
up.
once, so.
So we're walking our happy asses up like Mount Fuji to get to the top, and we finally trek up there, and we're looking around. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be empty. The theater. 4 minutes before the fucking movie starts, every school in the area we were at decided to fucking let their kids into the theater.
And
And
I
I'm
love
not
kids.
joking.
I love kids.
And Rachel, just fucking preschool teacher, loves it. So, literally 4 minutes before the movie starts, and I'm talking about previews are going,
Yeah.
people are just fucking coming in droves and filling a movie theater in 4 minutes. It's schools. So it's I don't know what Roman's about. Tim's over there. Can I sit with Tim? Like, fuck you and fuck Tim. Sit the fuck down and shut up. And Rachel's her patience level went from like hanging out with Tubbs, sweating her asses off, walking up this fucking hike up to these seats, drinking this soda, gonna enjoy the shit out of this movie. Went from like super happy fun time to fuck life, fuck kids, fuck the Space Center, fuck everything. And almost as if by fate, we're all the way at the top. Well, what happens when all the rows have their, because the theater's like, okay, these are for your class, these three rows are for your class, these three rows are for your class. Well, they get overbooked. And there's a little top, curve section, but there's 6 chairs behind us, and that's the very last row. And there was an older couple there, so we were like, hey, we ain't gonna fuck with you. Sat down right in front of them. And then the kids start fucking bleeding into where we're sitting. I was like,
I was like, Tubbs, we need to move so no kids are
Nope.
around us.
there was nowhere in that theater, there was no kids.
Wow.
And their teachers were their teachers, which I mean, I think teachers have a really difficult job, not because I think teaching's hard, because I think kids are assholes.
Yes.
And I love my son, and I know a lot of kids are great. When you get those fucking kids in a mob mentality, they're fucking monsters. And this kid, and it didn't happen to me because the old dude was behind me, and that worked out great. But the kid behind Rachel started kicking her chair.
Oh my god.
And I was like, and Rachel went from having fun time Rachel to slightly annoyed Rachel to fucking mom. She turned around, you need to stop now. I was like, shit. It was a stern, concise voice. You need to stop now. Damn, this motherfucker killed real.
But then, so he stops, right? And then I feel him starting to hit the chair again. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just let this ride out a little bit. Maybe he'll stop, because that's what usually happens before I start seeing red. And he kept going. And finally I turned around, I was like, you need to stop. And he looks behind him like he was somebody else's fucking fault. I'm like, listen, you little fucking
You're in the
shit.
back row.
Bitch, you're the last row.
Don't, no. No. I'm like, stop. You need to just fucking stop. And then come to find out his fucking little chaperone or whatever was like 2 seats away. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have known because I would tell you, little fucking shithead right there. I'm sorry. Dude, stop hitting my fucking chair. It's, oh.
Rachel pulls out a sharpened toothbrush out of her sleeve.
Oh man, I was about to lose
You want to go
it.
schoolyard, bitch?
I was about to lose it. But what was the best thing was the old guy behind us.
Best guy. Clint Eastwood, if you will. The teacher says, come this way down the row. And she's at where we're sitting facing the theater. It's on our left side. Mm-hmm. She says, come this way towards the row. And this kid, the guy's like, go around. And he's like, my teacher said, and he looked at him and said, go around. And the kid was like, oh shit, like went from like, I'm a badass fucking 11-year-old. I do whatever the fuck I want. I run until like, I'm sorry. And he walked quietly walked around. He's like, where the fuck were you?
And I was like, I love this guy. He's my hero.
You need a beer, dude? Can we get you something? You hungry? You have some popcorn? You have pretzels? But yeah, like just straight up this kid like go around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so when we,
Piece of shit.
after the movie, we left and I saw him, and in my head I was like, oh, I want his autograph. 'Cause he's awesome.
0 fucks given.
You can tell he was like an old army guy or something like, fuck kids, don't care.
I like go when I go to places, especially if I'm in there, like I have no shame. I'm like, can I get a picture with you? And Rachel was like, they have scientists there that actually worked on the rockets.
Nice.
For NASA.
Yeah, they volunteer.
They volunteered, and I was like, nobody fucking volunteers to come here. And actually, I guess some of them actually do. They were like retired engineers, retired rocket scientists, and when kids come in, because it's a lot of kids that go there, they just stand around and answer questions. Mm-hmm. And she's like, do you want to get a picture with the scientists? I was like, I really do, but after seeing what they deal with, I feel like I don't need a fat ass running up to him and hugging him like, hey, picture. So I'm going to go ahead and not do that today. But yeah, I felt so bad because like, and like, you're talking like whatever their situation is, like they're just retired and like fuck it, I got nothing to do with my time. I'll come to the Space Center.
Yeah.
When they're a couple of them when they're not around kids are just looking around like, hey, like kind of looking for people to ask them a question, like really happy, like joy in their eyes. And a couple of them once the drove of fucking demons run up, they're like, what did I sign up for? But you can see they're keeping their cool, like, oh, this and this, that. But you can see, like, that slight tightness in their face of having to answer questions, like, yeah. We poop in a tube. I don't fucking... It's so funny. But yeah, so I was like, no, I don't want to go bother that guy. He hasn't had enough. He gave his life to space and he has to answer these kids. That guy's done enough.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool place.
It was really cool.
We did Tubbs did every interactive thing that you could do.
Hashtag YOLO, hashtag swag.
And then he wanted me to crawl into a capsule, but I felt really bloated that day, so I felt if I got down, I wouldn't get back up. So he got.
That's not how she said it. It's a capsule. It's a whole half capsule sticking up out of a platform.
Yeah.
And you can lay down and see what it's like to actually be. That's what it's supposed to simulate is coming back down because they're sitting in a really tight little spot. And
Yeah.
I was like, Rachel, get in here, and I get down, climb to the seat, and like, it's like laying on the floor on the chair basically, and all the dials and everything. So the kids can, oh look, I'm flipping switches. So. I did it because I wanted to see what it was like to be a little kid flipping switches. Fuck you guys, don't judge me. And Rachel's like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to get out of there. I'm just too big. And I was like, huh, that's funny. Because I'm 6'2", and I weigh like 350. So go ahead and run that one by me again. No, I'm feeling bloated. Oh, thanks! High five, Rachel.
There's no way I was gonna get back up again. Like you would have to pull me out. No, it wasn't happening.
She's like, I am disgustingly fat and gross right now. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go slit my wrist and cry a little bit. No bigs. But yeah, that was bad. Rachel does some of the fun stuff. She doesn't like doing all the fun stuff.
Yeah. I tried.
So
Anyways, I'm sorry. Back to art.
Back to the topics. The podcast.
we talk about whatever.
Would you guys, if you had the opportunity to go to Mars, would you?
Would I get to come home?
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I would.
Would you?
I know that there's a
I feel like if you're going to Mars, there's a 50-50 where you're coming back.
yeah. Well, I know, but like, is returning home part of the deal? But I heard that there are people signing up to go there to be the first colonizers to actually live there and die there.
Mm-hmm. How come you wouldn't go?
Well, have you been listening to Wolf 539 or 359? 359? 359? Podcast.
No, because I have a lot of phobias. I'm afraid of heights. It's pretty high up there.
I think it's just over there.
Yeah.
Like I've watched movies, you know, with the even movies where they go up in space and then everything's fine, they don't have any issues, and they come back to Earth, and I'm like, fucking nope. Nope. You're not gonna catch me doing that. I am never going to space. I don't care how much they ask me, because someone's gonna ask me.
But Aaron, you're the only one out.
Nope, you guys kiss my ass.
Yeah, it depends on you.
I'll
Nope,
train
sorry.
somebody.
Yeah. So and like I'm afraid of like dark water, so I don't.
Oh, yeah,
I
me
won't.
too.
I won't go out on a fishing boat in the ocean or anything.
Like treading
I mean,
water where you can't touch the ground.
Yeah, and you can't see anything in it.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, there's no water, but still, it's darkness of space. It's
dark air.
It's something foreign to me.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. I would not do it.
I had a girlfriend of mine ask me if I would go scuba diving with her in the Great Barrier Reef.
The barrel weave.
Long story about that one. And I said, fuck no, I won't. Because anytime I think of the ocean, the only fishes that exist are sharks.
I believe it's
Those
fish
There's
eye.
nothing
That was so
else.
intense.
Yeah, so I always think like whenever I step foot in the ocean, there's gonna be a shark right there waiting to eat me, and I'm like, no.
Actually,
And the funny thing
sharks
is,
are the least of your worries.
Yeah, I know,
Especially
but
over there.
I can't.
Why are you making it worse?
and I actually have a funny story. So there's this game that I play online with my buddies on Xbox and on my PC. It's called ARK, Survival Evolved. It's like Minecraft, but with much better graphics. And like
Minecraft has bad graphics.
no, it's like Minecraft.
No, I said Minecraft has bad graphics.
Yes, it does. And dinosaurs. So like you wake up and you're on like this deserted island or whatever, and there's like dinosaurs around. You have nothing, so you have to like punch trees to get wood, and then pick up rocks, and then get fiber from like plants, and make like a pickaxe, and then eventually you start evolving. You can start taming dinosaurs, stuff like that. Well, my buddies and my buddy Sean has been playing it for 2 years. I played it a couple years ago with him for about 2 weeks, and I got bored with it because it just barely came out. It was like early access back then, so there was a lot of features. So I just recently got back into it, and there are parts in that game where you have to harvest things. So you have to, like I said, you have to like use your pickaxe or a hatchet, go up to like a tree and get thatch and stuff like that, and build like a stone base and whatever. Well, we're at the point where we've harvested oil, and I have a fabricator, so I can make things, because I did have a smithy and a forge, but now I want to make electronics, so I can actually have lights instead of just torches and stuff. Well, in order to make electronics, you have to have silica pearls, and silica pearls are in seashells that are in the ocean in the game. And the ocean's not black. You can see everything for miles. I'm too afraid in the video game to go in the water. So, like, baby steps. I've been watching videos, like, the easiest place to get silica pearls on the game. I'm like, okay, so the guy just, like, walked in, and they're, like, right there. Okay, cool, I'm gonna do this. So, first time I had the balls to do this was yesterday. I get off work, and I'm at my laptop, because it's crossplay on Xbox or, computer. So, somebody was watching TV, so I was playing it on my laptop. My character's got all of this stuff. I have a metal pike. I can kill things with, like, one hit. I'm pretty high level. But I'm still terrified of the ocean. Because you go in there and you can see megalodons. You can see like rays. There's like these sea scorpions. It's shitty.
Trilobites?
It's scary. Yeah, and they'll sting you and you pass out. And you don't pass out from them like killing you. You pass like they sting you. You pass out and you die because you drown because you pass out in the water. So. And everybody's teasing me at work. They're like, yeah, Aaron will leave you go in the water to get silver pearls or black pearls or whatever you need. So I was like, no, I'm probably going to do that today because I've been watching videos. And I'm building up the nerve.
I'm watching videos to get over my fear of the ocean.
Yeah. So I don like this crazy-ass armor. So if something does hit me, I'll be okay. And like, I land my Pteranodon on this rock in the middle of the water. So that way, if I grab whatever I need, I go right back to him. We fly back to my base. Like, this is gonna take 2 seconds. That's it. So I turn around. I crouch so I can look underwater, and I see the stupid shell like 20 meters away. Like, all right, I swim right up to it, grab it, turn around and get it. My computer is rock solid. Never had an issue with my computer ever. But this game is glitchy. First time I ever had an issue with this game, yesterday. I go up to the Silica Pearl. As soon as I grab it, the game freezes. And the game is online. So it freezes, but online, my character's just standing there underwater forever. And I'm like, shit! And I'm like, I can't get out. And like freaking out, so I turn off my computer, I turn it back on, I log back in, and like my character's dead. And I have to respawn where I am. And of course, my character, I'm stupid, and I had a bunch of stuff on my inventory. And when your character dies, you see like this beam of light where your character is, so you can go fetch all your stuff. It's like in this bag. You hit the button that says transfer all, you get all your stuff, you go back to what you're doing. So I had my Pteranodon still sitting on the rock, waiting for me. What's taking him so long? So I get on my spare Pteranodon, I fly over to my good Pteranodon.
Well, you sitting here like a bitch. Why don't you go back to base and come get me?
Hey, do I look familiar? Yeah, I'm naked because my armor's... This guy's wearing my armor. So you can like whistle for your dinosaurs, like whistle to attack this or follow me, whatever. So I whistle my good Pteranodon to follow me back to the base. We go back to the base. I park the spare Pteranodon. I get back on my good Pteranodon. I fly back to the rock. I hyperventilate a little bit. Run back into the water. Hit the button. Forget which button combination it is to try to grab all my shit from my old character. And then I haul ass back to my Pteranodon. Fly back to my base. And my heart's pounding on my chest. My wife's like, are you okay? You're sweating. You're playing a game.
You're playing a game!
Don't talk to me right now, babe. You don't even know what I'm going through.
Just give me an old fashioned.
Yeah.
I need a minute.
That's how bad my phobia of water is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was laughing really hard, not because you have a phobia of water, but everything you just described reminded me of when the light switch for the stairways at the bottom of the steps. And it's nice.
You have to run.
You sign yourself up like we'll fucking kill somebody. I got 7 guns and 4 flashlights. Shut up.
Yeah, you turn into Usain Bolt as soon as you do that.
My,
Or you're taking out the trash at nighttime and you know there's somebody watching you, you're like, I see you.
it's good thing I took all those Krav Maga lessons before I came out here.
These bags are really heavy, it must be pretty strong.
This is my favorite meme, man. Like, I keep it close to my chest.
You think I walk a face into your kitchen at 2 a.m. to get some water. Either demon to speed.
It's for the podcast. It's not a video podcast. It's the meme that has a picture of a dude in what's it called, night vision. It says when you take that walk of faith into your kitchen at 2 a.m. to get some water. Hey there, demons! It's me, you boy. That's kind of how I approach the scary shit. Like, fucking, let's go, man. Everybody dies sometimes. Let's do this.
Did you watch the SpaceX rocket?
Yeah, I didn't know. Oh, obviously, like everybody else in Yuma didn't know what was going on, but I was taking a shower. Then I get out, and then I put my clothes on. I go back in the living room, and I can't find my family. I'm like, where the hell is everybody? And I see my front door is unlocked because we always lock the door whenever we come in or out, or whatever. So I walk out front, and everybody's like, oh, looking at the sky. I'm like, what are you guys looking at? And we see the trail, and we see the light and stuff. My wife's like, yeah, everybody on Facebook was saying look in the sky because there's a thingy. So that's not how she talks, by the way. That's how I.
It's like,
that's
and why were you coming outside to look at things?
That's just what I hear. So I was like, yeah, I don't know what that is, but I'm cold because I just got out of the shower and it's December. So love you guys, going inside. So I go back inside and then we're looking it up and everybody on Facebook is like aliens and whatever. It's like,
I
And then,
saw
of
a
course,
couple of Gotta Go Pray.
and then it turned out to be the SpaceX thing. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I had known about it before. I would have watched it take off. But we saw the aftermath. So it was cool.
I thought it was a meteor. I don't know why. But like I told Tubbs, Dale, and his sister Kat, there was a little part of me that was hoping it was aliens and they were gonna come abduct me because I'm such a fan. But no.
I'm not a fan. I would've been like,
That's
"Oh,
why I
take
love
some
that
of this."
meme, because I walked outside and Mom was like, I wonder what it is. I was like, what's up, Apocalypse? It's your boy. Just kind of kept living my life. What are you going to do? Like, I never thought I was so cavalier about my attitude towards stuff, so I've talked to, like, people that are like, I would never do that. I'm like, why not? We all die at the end, fucking have some fun.
I'll show you guys something here. This is
I feel like I ate so much candy I upset my stomach. Worth it.
Got diabetes.
Take a shot of insulin real quick.
That's all I got.
No.
see. Okay, this was yesterday. This is Tuesday.
Dead silence.
So Dale, since we were invited to the cool guy party, what are you up
Those are
to?
the other guys I play Ark with.
What?
What are you up to?
You know, just stuff.
Doing
It's just
some
all
cool
Ark
things.
stuff.
Just
I was like, I just swim underwater and everything.
What are you working on now?
That's awesome.
same thing
So
I've worked on
stupid.
before that I
Your
can't talk
support
about
group.
now.
I was like, I got silica pearls, guys.
Do you have lights now?
No,
Like it took you long enough.
no, I just turned up the gamma. Now I can see it.
Guess I'll
right.
just
Like,
live in the
I don't
Stone
need
Age.
One guy's just giving you shit, so he takes his 3D printer in the game and prints you stuck in the water.
lights. Read that top text. I texted my buddies who also play the game.
It's so quiet.
It's in all
It's
caps.
so quiet for a podcast.
It is very. Sorry.
That's awesome.
So, seeing how I have a thing with hair, there's a lot of great stories from the trip I took with Tubbs. He,
A lot of them are R-rated, so we can't really tell them.
yeah, but one of them was we were talking about pubes and
Oh, that was the R-rated one. That's up. I thought we were going to tell that one. But go on for it. Go for it.
okay. So I'm not a fan of hair down there, and so he's like, well, like what if there's some, and like what?
I was curious as to what she meant by dirty in reference to pubic hair. That's where I was coming from. Like, what do you mean? I was like nothing at all, or like some, or like does it have to be shaved? Like
Five
to me,
o'clock
it's like,
shadow.
is it clean? No, like that's basically what I was asking. Like as long as it's clean, like we do maintenance basically is what I'm all about. Like, oh cool, take care of it. High five. And she's like, no, like some isn't bad. I'm like, well, how long? Is that the story you're telling me?
Yeah.
So this motherfucker, I'm driving, and I was like, so how long? Like, what's too long? Like braids maybe too long? And it was kind of the joke, and I was like, oh, and I had about this long hair right at the time.
It was a little bit
It's
longer.
a little bit longer than that, and I'm pointing at my beard, and I was kind of pointing towards the sideburns, and I was like, so like this long. This motherfucker points at me and is like, that's gross. What? And I said it kind of jokingly, and like, in the face, looks at me, that's gross. It's like, you're pointing at my fucking face right now, don't do that. She's like, well, that's not what I meant, but yeah, that's gross. That doesn't make it better. But we're sitting in a car, you know, two friends, talking about friend things, bullshitting, and then you could just see, I could just picture somebody else sitting up the car with her going, disgusting.
And I didn't realize I was doing that until he pointed out. I was like, oh.
You're pointing at my face and saying that's gross. Maybe don't do that. Hashtag
Yeah.
sad.
We had a lot of great times on our trip,
That's funny.
I think.
Yeah, we had some doozies.
We didn't go check out the art gallery. Like
We did not go check out an art gallery.
No, but we went to some display in the Science and Space Museum where this lady, an artist who
Oh my gosh.
I think they're desperate to kind of fill a space, so they're like, "Hey, maybe she could do something for us." She took
Abstract it is.
No.
She made jewelry. Say like she took like a galaxy or something, or a launch, and she made jewelry. Her interpretation of it, it was bad.
No. I'm sorry to correct you, Rachel. That's not what she did, and that's what was annoying.
What did she do? Well, that's
She made fucking jewelry.
Well, that was
Picture
her
jewelry
intent.
at K. Okay? You got it in your head? Mm-hmm. There's like obviously diamond rings, and then there's like necklaces that have shit on them.
Yeah.
Imagine if I went to K Jewelers, Zales, wherever the fuck you shop, bought a bunch of jewelry, threw it in a glass case, put a picture of a system behind it, and said, "This inspired me to make this necklace." That's all it was. There wasn't any kind of special rocks. It wasn't any configuration. It was like a necklace with 3 different types of stones in it. I got inspiration from the blah 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 nebula. Or did you just make jewelry? Because it wasn't like there was one. As soon as you walked in, there was one that was actually it was a circular piece with more pieces inside of it. It was supposed to represent a system, not like our planetaries. It's just a system, and that one was like, boom, this is what the theme to this is. Like obviously that is. The rest of it was just random jewelry that was like, I got this idea from the surface of Mars. Like I saw that at fucking Walmart the other day. So no, you didn't. But okay, it was like this.
Did you?
And then it had a picture. Like, do you remember like the late '90s, or actually no, early mid '90s glamour shots people used to do? Mm-hmm. That was a picture they used for her Meet the Artist.
Yeah.
I was like,
With the cloudy look.
it was the what the fuck's it called? The vignetting, the Anna vignetting with the cloudy look, and her being like, "Get it, girl." That come hither look. That's what they used as her thing, and I was like, because I was asking Rachel like, this is like, are they selling this stuff? Because it might have been inspiring. Like I use this red stone because Mars is red. Cool, but it kind of just seems like you made jewelry and then put shit on it.
I was like, this isn't art. It was bad. So when I took Heather there, I was like, we just need to skip this room. I was like, you don't want to go in there.
Like I thought when they said jewelry, I was like, dude, meteorites? Like a meteorite ring? That'd be fucking cool. Mm-hmm. No, just same stuff. It's like me making a desk, and it's a really nice oak desk, and being like, everything Jack the Ripper did inspire me to make this desk. How? Well, I was thinking about him when I made it.
I was
And this is a Jack the
cutting
Ripper
wood
and
as he cut the prostitutes.
And this is a horror museum. Boom. It was just like because I walked in with expectations. I was like, oh shit, it's space jewelry.
Yeah.
Cool shit ever. No, it's jewelry.
This is what the aliens wear.
Basically, I was seeing this fucking scene of
No, go ahead.
Xeon Gorilla 21st Century shit in there. Nope.
Okay, so what's your... I recently watched a podcast from the guy from Blink 180.
Tom DeLonge?
Yeah, Tom DeLonge.
Talking about the Joe Rogan one?
Yeah. So he has his own theory about aliens and stuff. What is your... Do you think aliens exist? Aliens?
No.
No?
I know they do because Trump's gonna keep them out.
Gonna build a wall.
Their
around
shithole
He's
country.
gonna build a ceiling for
Build their shithole space.
a wall for the Mexicans and the ceiling for the aliens.
Yeah, no. I don't have the time to think about that shit. It sounds really shitty. I don't.
No, that's good.
I don't think I've ever just sat there and thought about it. I honestly, if they do, cool. If they don't, cool. I'm sorry if that's not the answer.
No,
It's kind of boring.
no, that was good.
He's like,
No,
they
the
don't
question-
exist, and you're dumb for believing that.
No, the question was boring. I'm just kidding.
What do you believe in?
Yeah, what do you...
Zombies? Aliens?
If a zombie showed up on your doorstep a zombie and an alien showed up on your doorstep, who are you going to be more afraid of?
The zombie.
Second question,
No.
who are you more attracted to?
The zombie.
But to that What's up? Just shake that ass.
You ever go to the necrophiliac subreddit?
No. What? You're like, me neither. You're a moderator.
No, I'm not. Can't prove it.
It's
Maybe more
interesting to
scared
hear
you.
people's different interpretations on if how they perceive aliens, whether they're friendly or harm, or they just want to kill people, or everybody has their own interpretation of it.
Aaron's gonna be like, what's up, aliens? It's me, your boy.
It's me, boy.
What do you think happens when you die?
Wanna play video games with me?
Will you go in the water for me?
Water. Will you get these silicone pearls? Because I'm too much of a
Like,
bitch.
fuck this water, brother. What do you think happens when you die, Aaron?
What do you think happens when you die?
Nothing.
Well, as a Christian, I believe differently.
I thought your name was Aaron.
Cool.
You're judged? That's where you're at?
Yeah, you're just.
Fair enough.
Tubbs, you don't have to wait till die to get judged. I'm judging you now.
Everybody judges Tubbs.
Only Judy can judge me.
Judge Judy and Executioner.
That is the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
It has been an hour.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
You guys want to call this episode
Yeah.
good?
What do you want to call it? But
Oh, I'm having too much fun.
Oh, we can get going.
Yeah, we can keep going. Yeah.
we can go all night. Perpetual Motion Squad.
So,
Tantric podcast.
What?
Tantric podcast.
Alright, well, guys, you guys have a good one.
have you always been a Christian?
No. No, not till I was an adult. But, so, it's a lot of media and also people that call themselves Christian give Christians a bad name. Like, okay, so the people that like spew hate, oh, you know, like the Westboro Baptist Church, like what they would do, like God hates fags and all that stuff. Like, no, I have no part of that. I have no part of that. You know, so for mine, it's just my relationship with Jesus, and that's it.
And the kingdom?
That's it. So I don't hate anybody. I don't judge anybody. It's not me to do it. I have friends that are atheists. I have friends that are.
I hope you're not considering me because friendship over.
No, you do you. That's it. I'm not. I love you. I love you no matter what. I'm speaking straight to you, Tubbs.
I was gonna say, you're looking right at me.
I'm looking into your eyes. I love you no matter what,
I love
Tubbs.
you too. No matter what.
No, because we had a topic a while ago. I'm sure you've heard it, hopefully, right?
I listen to every episode.
Where they were talking about
I transcript them.
they were talking about what the influences of our spiritual beliefs
On art?
on
On us?
us. Yeah.
I remember that. I don't remember that. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we were talking about religion and art.
Mhm.
Recap me, Rachel.
Yeah, my mind just went blank.
Religion on ourselves. Like how it affects us? That's one what we talk about. The reference to stuff, how it affects us.
Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get that.
No, you never did.
Yeah, I agree. I had to get chips. Sorry. Sorry for the sound.
Yeah, that was Dale.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Dude, please.
Yeah, by all means.
I'm even doing I'm a school.
No, you have to say it backwards.
I know.
Tough, yes.
Oh no, I'm good.
Nothing.
Presenting.
At what age would you say you guys
4.
realized that you wanted to do something artistic or that you were artistic? I'm not saying like if you're a child and you're just coloring with your crayons, because like pretty much all kids do that. When did you realize like, hey, this art thing is pretty cool. This is something I want to follow up with, even if it's not this exact thing that I'm doing.
Let me go ahead
That's a good
and do
question.
that one first.
I
Never.
know exactly when.
Really.
I'm not like that's one of the things we always I always say I'm not an artist because I don't think I am.
Same here.
Because when I was drawing, when I was doing drawings or coloring, I hated that I couldn't color like other people could, and I was like, "This is stupid, and you're stupid for being able to do it."
I hate school and I hate all of
And the
you.
fucked up thing is, I think you see me when I sketch stuff out I'm gonna do at my house. The plan I do it on is just like on line paper, really crappy, really fast. And then when I get home, I sometimes I use graph paper. I'm like, fuck, I'm a good artist. But only because I'm like, oh, because I think of little shit to put together.
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I did that.
that's awesome.
But then I just shred it or burn it later. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I don't need it. But when I'm drawing it up, I'm like, duh, angry lines.
So earlier, made fun of my little speech, my inability to say the letter R sometimes. So when I was in grade school, I can't remember exactly what grade I was in, but I was probably like second grade. So I had a hard time saying words that started with an R because I always say the
You were that
W's.
kid, huh?
Yeah.
You know that group of country singers, Jory and Rory?
No.
No. Ask Rachel to say that.
No, don't.
Rural juror.
No, it's. I can't even say it right now.
Rural Juror. That's a good one.
Rory.
That was from 30.
I got
Oh, you said it. Boom. You're done.
Hey, look at me, guys. Thanks, high fives all around. Wow. So,
Baby
anyway,
steps.
so when I was in second grade, I went to a speech therapist. So, I didn't like going and doing the work, so I would kind of like negotiate with her, be like, hey, how about I just draw you something instead of doing the work?
Oh.
So I would draw like a flower, and we would kind of talk about saying the letter R versus the letter W. But majority of the time, I got out of doing the necessary work that would have helped me.
Would have benefited you at this stage.
Would have benefited me, but instead I negotiated with art, and then after that I was like, oh, I'm not too bad at this.
How ironic that your name is Rachel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of my friends growing up, her name is Rindy. And so I'd be like, Wendy. She's like, my name's Rindy.
You're a shitty friend.
I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I can't say it.
Hey, friend. Just Rachel's running down the hall. Friend.
Yeah, so after that, yep, I knew I could do something with art.
That's
I
awesome.
could influence.
How old were you?
I was probably like second grade, third grade.
So about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I always think all kids are like either 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Cause
She's not joking.
I'm really
They're either
not.
5 to 10. No.
You're either 5
No.
or
They
10.
were. It was like 3 to 5 or 9 to 11 are the only two grades that are ages that exist for Rachel.
Because everybody's like, how old
She's
is
like-
niece? I'm like, I don't know, 10.
She's
5?
27.
I don't know.
She owns a bar.
My niece is like, I'm 10. I'm 11, Rachel. And Rachel, I'm like, ooh.
You don't matter in society. Shut
You
up.
had a birthday. Good for you. Don't care.
What's the difference between 10 and 11? Nothing.
Yeah. So.
Talk shit now. You're gonna be fucking. You're gonna be 28 for 5 years. Yep. Same question.
So the question was, when did I
At what
know?
age
At what
Did you
age
know?
Did you know?
did you know that art was
that you wanted to art? Let me put it in Dale terms. You laugh, but it's true.
Yes.
I don't think I could really remember exactly, but I know I was pretty young. So I've always liked drawing, and pretty much all my school books are always full of monsters that I drew and stuff like that. And then I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, I guess.
That's cool.
As I've always wanted to draw and stuff.
He's like womb, caveman dwelling.
But I didn't actually.
There were sound waves drew in the placenta. Look it up.
I hadn't actually tried sculpting until Aaron showed me the Super Sculpey. So
Yeah, that was just something that I was like, oh, this stuff hardens up when you bake it? That's rad. And I had never sculpted anything before in my life. So I was sculpting like dumb crap and then baking it and like taking it to work. Dude, check this out. And then he started sculpting like zombie heads and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That when you're
What else I like to do? That was when I was working with you guys in photo.
yeah.
2007.
So that was cool. Thank you.
You owe me.
Basically, I built everything you stand on.
No, I'm just kidding.
dedicate
So-
this to Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm pointing to that sky.
Well, he's also given me enough sculptures, and like I feel really bad because his sculptures are like out of this world. So when I get one for free from him, I'm like, I can't take this.
When he first started doing it, he made me this really cool zombie head.
Yeah.
And I threaded an eyelet through it, the top of it. And I hung it on the keychain, the
River
rear mirror of my car. My car got totaled. I went to the hospital a little while later. I'm fine. I know you guys are worried. I got home and my buddy's like, "Hey, they towed the car away. I'm gonna run." He called me. I'm gonna run by and grab everything out of there. And I was like, "Cool, dude. I think my lunch bag is still in there from work. It's on the way home. I had like a extra couple stuff I keep in my trunk, and the stuff in the charm on the rearview mirror." And he came back. He's like, "There's no charm on the rearview mirror." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Well, it was on a chain. It's possible that it could have just like slipped off, but I glued it in there." He was like, "No, there was no chain in there either." I was like, "Motherfuckers! Somebody broke in my busted ass car and stole my zombie head." So Dale made me these other ones, and my son was scared of them at first, and then he kind of started like, "Oh, they're." I was like, "My buddy makes these," I explained it to him, and he was like, "Oh, cool. So you used to like to sit and hold them while you're driving because it was kind of like I get this now. Like I'm not scared of it anymore."
Yeah.
We break. He looks up and lets him go, and they went whack and broke off the plaque out of him. And I was like, "Kids are the best." I was so mad. Dale's like, "Bring him in." I was like, "No, I'm ashamed now."
That sucks.
But I loved it. That one I remember like vividly. Like, this is the best thing ever. My sister had pictures of it and shit.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. You ever seen Return of the Living Dead movie? There's this zombie that comes out of this barrel of like ooze, and his name is called Tarman. And the way he walks is like, when I was a kid, that was like the only zombie that really scared the crap out of me. And it just wasn't the way he looked, but just the way he walked and like horrifying.
Articulated.
Yeah. So Dale made me a sculpture of that, and that's in my office right now. And then like my favorite superhero.
You're like, it has this little towel over it.
Stop looking at me! And then for my birthday one year, because my favorite superhero was Invincible.
I still got the picture you drew.
Yep, that's him. Dale made me a bust of Invincible, and I still have it. And it's pretty amazing.
Should we show the microphone?
Yeah.
Show the
You want to take a picture of it and put it on Instagram?
Yeah. Aaron drew that.
I drew it and colored it. That was when I first got my Prismacolor markers.
By Aaron.
Which is amazing
Dale.
because Prismacolor is always kicking
Oh, you
my
gotta
ass.
take the case off of it to take a picture.
Oh, that's practical.
You didn't get that in there, did you?
Oh, is that what you're working on for
Yeah.
the thing? Oh, nice.
Whoa.
I want to do it.
Don't
before
talk
I
about
see
it.
what I'm doing.
Don't describe
I
it.
won't.
That looks pretty awesome.
Sorry for the silence. Well, we're looking at something we can't talk about. So.
Well, that was a fun conversation.
It's a secret.
Fine. I'll post that later. Maybe. I don't know.
Here, I'll find you the picture of the bust that he did. Cause I posted it on the Invincible subreddit,
Oh, did you?
and people freaked out when they saw it. Sorry for the silence. Here it is.
Again, referencing the water bottle that I got from. Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
The water bottle I got
pretty rad.
from Flaming Dirt by a cat at
Skinwalker.
Skinwalker
Let's.
Labs. I showed it to people, and My wife doesn't love clowns. She's not scared of them. She doesn't love them. And I showed a bunch of people, and I set it on my desk. It happened at my desk at work and at my house. But I set it down, and I noticed somebody walk up to my desk and turn it around. Right now, when you said stop staring at me, like walk up to it and go. It's like, what's wrong? Like, it's just I kind of feel like he's looking at me. And I was like, okay, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was legit.
Cool.
Scary. I was thinking right now when you said the thing that scares you. Do you remember something that scared you? Did you guys get a lot scared at scary movies when you were younger? Like, did they make you jump a lot?
Ghost movies. Movies about ghosts freak me. They used to scare me. But I would watch like ghost hunting shows all the time, and I'd be like, nah, or I'd fall asleep to them. But movies?
Do you get scared with movies nowadays?
Not anymore.
Yeah, I'm so desensitized now because
Oh.
earlier when you asked what my favorite genre, second favorite is horror.
Uh-huh.
So I probably haven't seen as many horror movies as Dale has because he'll text me, "Have you seen this movie?" And I'm like, "I've never heard of that movie."
I mean, yeah, totally, all the time.
You horror movie hipster. But yeah, like as a kid, I wasn't afraid of like. My parents were the best parents, so the first movie I ever remember watching was like Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like 4, 5 years old. So, like that never scared me.
But they didn't have to spank you because if you acted up, they'd be like, I'll call Freddie right now, homie. Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing right now with your attitude? No, I love you. Please, mommy.
Like Michael Myers never scared me. Like none of the slasher movies scared me. Like Jason didn't really scare me, although he was a big brute, so I was kind of like, you know, if you saw him, you'd probably turn and run the other way. But the thing that did scare me the most when I was a kid were zombies, because the first zombie movie I remember watching was Day of the Dead. The original George Romero Day of the Dead, where they're trapped in the bunker underground, and the dude like goes to get in the elevator, and all the zombies pour out, and they just like it shows them just like rip everything apart. Oh my gosh!
In the elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude was like, it was absolutely terrifying, and I was terrified of zombies as a kid. That's probably why I love them so much now as an adult, because I'm like, I'm a grown man. I know how this
Fucking
works.
stupid zombies. I'll beat your ass.
But yeah, like movies now, there isn't really anything that I can watch that would scare me. There are things that I'll watch that I'll turn off because I have kids, not because like they're in the room, but I remember before I became a dad, I could watch whatever and not worry about crap. And then it's funny because my daughter, after she was born, I remember putting on Train Spotting, and then the scene where the dude wakes up and the baby's dead in the crib. I was like, nope. Turn it off.
Don't feel like crying today.
I can't watch stuff that has to do with like children, just because I'm a dad. So it's like, it doesn't scare me, but it's like, I don't need to watch this. But I mean, like nothing. People are like, oh, I can't watch movies. Like my buddy Sean. If you're listening to this, Sean, I'm sorry. My buddy Sean, he won't watch it. I asked him like, oh, have you seen this? You know, insert scary movie name here. And he's like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't watch scary movies because I get nightmares. I'm like, dude, you're like 30 years old. He's like, nope, can't. I get nightmares.
Hey, Aaron, fuck you. Why don't you go in the ocean?
Yeah.
Don't you fucking judge Sean, you fucking monster.
Yeah, seriously. So like, I can't relate to that because people ask me like, what's the scariest movie you've seen lately? Nothing.
Right.
I haven't seen anything scary.
Like the other day, I left my house and couldn't find my phone. That was pretty fucking scary. Movies? Nah, nothing.
On Christmas Day, we went to go visit my mom, and I have khakis that have like a electronics pocket for your phone, like way down here. And I'm just sitting there listening to my mom drawl on about whatever the hell she's talking about on Christmas Day, just counting down the time when it's.
When is it socially appropriate for me to get the fuck out of
Exactly,
here?
when it's socially appropriate for me to go, all right, Mom, well, we got prime rib in the oven. We got to get out of here. But while we were doing that, I had my phone, and I was messing with it, and I put my phone in that electronics pocket. And then I remember standing up to do something and grabbing the pocket where my phone usually is, and I almost had a heart attack because my mom doesn't live in the best neighborhood. And usually when I drive, because I like pick the song or whatever, I'll put the phone between my legs on the seat. So I was like, okay, it could still be on the seat, or it could have fallen out when I got out of the car. So I was like, I'll be right back. How do you unlock this door? And I started running. I started running to the car, because she lives in an apartment, so it's not, my car's like not right there. I started running, but then I kept feeling something hitting my leg. I was like, what the hell is this? Oh, it's my phone. I come back and my wife's like, that was quick. I was like, I'm stupid.
You should afford.
Scariest movie ever.
No, I'm
Where's
really
my
weird.
phone?
Like I have this weird moment of like, oh fuck, I can't find my phone.
Yeah.
Immediately followed by, oh shit, good, I don't have my phone on me. Now I don't have to answer anybody's messages. Because I forget my phone in my house sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And I have this moment like, oh, it's okay if I don't. I don't care.
Wow.
So speaking of technology,
Untether, man. Feels great.
speaking of technology, you have a drone.
Yes.
Okay, so some people don't like them because of
They don't even know his drone. It's kind of fucked up.
because of privacy.
He's very sweet.
So how do you, now that you're a drone owner, how
Or
do
a
you feel-
droner, if you will.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the aspect of privacy? Like, I know you don't specifically fly low in
Yeah.
somebody's house.
Don't
but-
shower with the windows open.
I have a gimbal. Perfectly still.
Like,
Oh,
do
you
you
get
have a
the emails.
different aspect on privacy nowadays that you're, or do you still, you know what I'm trying to get at?
I'm respectful for people, and, but I also know that drones do exist. So no matter how tall your fence is, somebody can still see what you're doing. So I'm a little more weary of that. So I don't sunbathe nude in my backyard.
Zero fucks.
Tubbs is out there. Dude, Captain Morgan.
Get you a zoom in, brother.
They don't have enough space on that SD card to fit what I got. But like, I'm more worried about, is the wind gonna take my drone than, what stuff am I looking at? So I've taken it up, and I've like been in a park and viewed the park and, looked far away and saw the water tower and kind of flew it kind of far. We're still in my line of sight, but just at the edge of my comfort zone. So I was like, okay, return to home, hit the button. It comes back, and I'm like, good, you're back. So, and then I look at all the footage later, but I wouldn't like fly it really low over someone's house or anything, because that's kind of just, unless they were doing something fun. If they had a slip and slide, or you're like, I don't remember those.
You're like, I wouldn't
Those were
breach
rad.
anybody's privacy unless it's fun to look at.
I like your bathing suit.
Yeah, because I know some people are not a fan of drones at all.
Yeah.
So if they saw one flying over, they'd
Well,
shoot it down.
there are people that are shitheads about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will get a drone and fly it right into someone's front yard, 10 feet away from someone's kid. If something happens that, it's electronic device, your phone will reboot by itself sometimes. Your power will, in your house, you'll get a brownout. Those things weigh enough, and the propellers are going fast enough to where it falls out of the sky, it's going to injure somebody pretty bad.
Right. But people have gotten their hands cut open by the propellers.
Exactly.
They're spinning fast as
So
shit.
like I don't fly it like above like children or anything, but there are shitheads that will totally do that.
Yeah.
Well,
There are people that are like fly it into no-fly zones because they have like the app, taken off in their phone, so they're flying it manually, and then like hit helicopters and stuff like that.
Well, I was talking about, in reference to that, I like the really funny videos of like hunters that are on private property. Like, we don't condone hunting, so people will put like a air horn or something on the drone,
Yeah.
and all the videos are beep beep, and you can see the hunter aiming at it. Pop! What was that? It's private property. You can't fly it over. We have the proper. No, you don't. Because like that's what they started doing at different locations where you hunt.
Yeah.
Is they raise the fucking level, the floor of their clearances basically. And people will fly them over to try to scare off different types of animals, and people just shoot the drones out. We need that back. No. What? It's private property. You can't come get it.
That's
Can somebody
awesome.
grab it for me? Nope. Sorry.
That's rad.
But yeah, there's a lot of videos of people trying to like do it to hunters. Like, we're trying to.
Yeah, people can be douchebags.
Yeah, that's one of those funky ones. So you're not hurting anybody.
No.
on both sides. But if you shoot somebody's drone in your yard, I want my drone. No. I'm like, no.
Yep.
Something about possession 9 times I'm keeping it. Oh, did I step on it? You peed on it? Yeah. Privacy. You're out here naked. So? You have chain link fences and no back fence. Fuck it.
It's like I have a next door neighbor. Speaking of possession, I have a next door neighbor whose dogs. He's got little tiny rat Chihuahua shithead dogs.
Cats.
That will whenever he's out front, he lets his dogs out, and so he'll be out there like mowing the lawn or watering his grass or whatever, and his dogs will always come into the side of my house and shit all over the place. And I've told him, like, I'm like, dude, you let your dogs out, don't let them in my yard. I've driven up and you've watched your dogs go into my yard or leave my yard and like shit, you know, this is my property. I don't need your dog shitting in my yard. Don't do it again or we're gonna have problems. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. He like hardly speak English, but he's like, he knew what I was talking about. He's like, I'm sorry, I'll keep him inside. And I was like, all right. So then recently, I've been finding more shit on the side of my house, and I have found his dogs. So I've like chased his dogs off, like right in front of him, like get your fucking dog. And I told my wife, I was like, you know what? I've already told him I'm just gonna go out there with a bag and just collect all the shit and then just put it on his yard or on his doorstep. I'm not gonna light it on fire, but like put it on his doorstep with a sign that says "These belong to you." And my wife's like, no.
I'll just collect them on, throw them on his front yard.
Yeah.
Those are yours. I don't want to be rude.
Don't you think I was stealing?
Just want to give these back. My wife's like, no, I don't want to start any problems with her neighbors. I'm like, he's already started the problem. I'm trying to finish it. So
let me have this. Sorry.
just like a few weeks ago, my wife got pissed at me because whenever we put out our garbage can, he puts out his garbage can right next to ours.
Yeah.
And we used like the white garbage bags, and my wife was like, hey, somebody put a bag in our garbage can, and it's like overflowed, like a big bag, because it's a black bag with a red drawstring. And I was like, nope. So I walked outside. She's like, no, don't do anything. I don't start any problems. I was like, nope. So I took it out and I set it next to his can. I didn't put it inside his can. I set it on the left side of his can. And my wife's like, why'd you do that? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, cause I'm tired of getting shit on by our neighbors. Literally. His dogs shit in our yard. He's putting stuff in our can. And then we live in a cul-de-sac, so our house is on the end. All the wind blows everybody's trash into my yard. So like every other day, my wife and my kids have to go out there with like gloves on and like pick up all the trash and throw it away. I was like, just because we live on the end and we don't say anything to anybody, you know, all of a sudden we're the neighbors that, you know, people can crap on. Like, no, I'm not gonna knock on his door and say, this is your trash. Sorry guys. This is your trash. I'm gonna do it the passive aggressive way. Set it next to his can. And he didn't notice, so the next day when they picked up the trash, his bag was left there. So then he had a black garbage bag in the front of his house, and then I guess some neighbor's dogs or cats or whatever got into it, and he had trash all over his yard. Oh man, when I got off work, I felt so vindicated. So great.
Put a chair out in your front yard, just stare at it.
Yeah.
Sit there and stare at it.
That's what I feel like sometimes. Now you feel that way too.
God forbid it blows into your bushes.
No, we used to have our trash cans in the back. We had those, not the single, but like the big double ones, but not the big metal ones.
Yeah.
They're round. And like our trash got full really fast, and I asked the neighbor like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's like, "I don't know. Did you empty your house into the trash? What's going on?" And I went out there and I found out that, so when mom and pop places mow your lawn,
Yeah.
if they take it to the city dump and you go more than once, they kick you out because you're not supposed to be doing it for business.
Yeah.
It's actually a transfer station. It's not even a dump.
Right.
If you go to Allied Waste, which is a trash place here, they charge you $20 a load.
Wow.
So what some of these dudes are doing is they're loading up their trucks with grass, trash, bushes, leaves, and stuff, and then throwing them wherever they can find an open trash can, so they don't have to pay that. So I got pissed off and I went and talked to them like, "Hey, you can't do that. What's the big deal? It's just trash." I'm like, "Well, the big deal is I now have trash I can't put in the trash can."
Yeah.
Fucked up thing is I pay for the shit that you're using, so stop. And I remember when I had this conversation, I was like, at what point did I become an adult? Because I'm currently arguing with somebody about using my fucking trash can. It made me sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was like, hey, this is happening. I can't control it, but now I can't use my trash can. So what do I do? And they're like, well, did you get his license plate? So then after that, I just go out there while they were doing it, take a picture of them with their trash and their license plate. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm taking a picture of your license plate so I can send it to the city. What's the big fucking deal? I'm not talking to you. We're not doing this. I'm just taking a picture so I can send it to the city. And they'd be yelling at me as I'm walking back into my house. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
That's awesome.
Because they were like, well, what's the big deal? It's trash. I'm like, yeah, but then I can't use it. Well, there's still some space.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, well, fuck me. You're right. What a damn savage for assuming that I should be able to use the shit that I fucking paid for.
Thank you for leaving me my space in my can.
But yeah, I started doing that, and ever since I started doing that, and I'm not joking, like, one time, what's that?
Waste not.
Waste not, one not. One time in like, it was really weird. And I was trying to remember how it had happened because they start on one end basically, and I don't know if it was the same dudes because it was a couple of different vehicles, but they basically just started at one end of the alley, started filling up the trash cans. Then when they got to mine, I took a picture, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "You're not gonna fill up my trash can, dude. I'm just gonna send it to the city. Why? Because what you're doing is illegal."
Nice.
No, it's not. Yeah, it is because that's paid for by me and my neighbor, and we can't use it now. And that's city stuff. Well, I'll just take it out. I don't care, dude. I'm sending the pictures of the city. Do what you want. I'm not gonna fucking play this game.
Nice.
And now I just do shit like that. Like, yeah, here's enough rope. Hang yourself. I don't care.
I'm glad I'm on your side.
What?
I'm glad I'm on your side.
Yeah, that's the because some fucked up shit about trash. My neighbor that used to live there like 3 people ago collected everything, and by collected I mean there were pathways in her backyard, not even a whole year after she'd moved there. Pathways where you can only walk there because shit was so piled up.
Wow.
And it was so bad that the city wrote her a letter and said if she didn't clean her backyard, they were gonna have somebody come sanitize, sterilize the backyard. Because there was so much crap. She had cats. She's allergic to cats. She had 2 or 3 different cats have fucking kittens in the backyard. She didn't even know about it. And I was like, what the fuck? So she hired some people. And I guess they didn't do well enough. But one day I come out and I have the slatwood fence in the back facing the alley.
Yeah.
And I look and I'm like, why can't I see anything? And I go back there. They piled all their trash all along my back fence. And I was like, she's like, I'm going to go talk to the neighbor. I was like, nope, we're not doing this. Because I look in her yard and mysteriously her yard's cleared. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was disgusting stuff. Like, it was rotted boxes full of, like, wet shit.
Ew.
Like, you know what the dump at the Goodwill looks like?
Yeah.
That would have been an improvement to compared to what was up against the fence in my backyard. And I called the city. I was like, hey, yeah, this is what's going on. I'm not going to start shit with my neighbor. I don't want to talk to her. I don't care. There's a bunch of stuff and up against my back fence that wasn't there yesterday, and it needs to get taken care of. Wow. I don't know if you need me to call the police. I don't know what you guys want to do, but I'm not going to sit here and argue with my neighbor over this. Like, what she did is clearly wrong, and she's an adult. She can figure her life out. And
I'm more of an adult.
they called I guess they came and looked at it, and they're like, hey. And from what I understand, because they actually talked to my wife, some of the letters, like mail that was in some of the boxes was her mail.
Nice.
So they were like, yeah, there's no way upstairs, and they told you to move this. She's like, well, I have a bad back. Well, whoever you hired or whatever you need to do, you need to move this because you can't do this.
Nice.
And it's because they actually have like a fence, like I don't know if you knew that or not, but there's certain shit that's not supposed to be up against your fence because police are supposed to be able to jump over it. I'm not joking. It has to be clear to a certain area, and that's why your fence can only be so high.
Nice.
Like somebody was telling me that the reason backyard fences can only be 6 feet is because they're trained to jump 6-foot fences.
Wait. Are they jumping the fence to chase somebody else?
Something like that.
So they make the fence high enough to where nobody can jump over it.
Hello? But no, if they have to come and get you, it has to be...
Okay.
We don't want to make it hard on us to arrest you. But yeah, that's kind of why they make some of those codes, and that's one of them is that it has to be cleared, especially for like fire and shit.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, dude, get this shit out of here. And like a day later, nobody said anything. We didn't hate each other. Like, you're an adult. Like, you did something wrong. Fucking fix it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was way too funny. Because I'm like, why can't I see? Because I remember, like, why can't I see past the fence? Maybe somebody's parked over there. Nope, just a bunch of trash. Well, this is fun.
People are shitty.
Yeah. That's what, like my mother-in-law. So I cuss a lot, like a fucking sailor now.
Same here. I need to stop. But
And
it's fun.
my mother-in-law was like, "Well, people say
Sentence answers.
ugly words or ugly things." I was like, "Listen, buddy, words aren't bad. People are."
Yeah.
I was talking to my son. You can't cuss because you can't cuss because you have school. You're not supposed to cuss at school. You have grandma that's gonna beat my ass if you cuss. You have your mom that's gonna beat my ass if you cuss. Basically, don't cuss.
Yeah.
At some point, you'll be able to learn to do it. I don't know what to tell you, but don't do it. But you do it. Well, it's because I'm a hypocrite. I'm a piece of shit. Like, you're not. I'm trying to make you better.
I never cuss in front of my kids, but my oldest is 14. She hears way worse than I've probably ever said in my life as a 14-year-old. So
I remember. Go on, sorry.
So occasionally, to make her laugh, I'll say something that's kind of like the other day. I was like, "You need to go clean your room because it looks like ass." And she just started busting up laughing. I never heard you say that, Dad. I was like, "That means I'm serious. Go clean your room."
Please don't tell me you looked through and said it that way.
I did.
Because adult.
Yeah, because adult
things go.
And like she walked by me, like punched me or something like that, and like hit me in the chest. And I was like, "Stop punching my titty." And that tickled her to death and made her laugh and stuff. So I thought that was funny. But my other daughter, who's 12, like super innocent. I'm like, I won't even say crap around her. I have to go make poo poo.
Got poop in my butt.
Got poops in my butt. No.
My niece, last time that she was here, she wanted to watch comedians on Netflix.
Comedy comedians?
Yeah, right.
Mm.
And
Those are the funny ones.
Those are the good ones. Those are the ones I enjoy.
guys, dicks. Anyways, who's the black comedian that says motherfucker all the time? He dresses like a pimp.
Cat Williams?
Yeah, Cat Williams. So he shows up on the
Comedian.
yeah. So
He's a comedy comedian.
Okay.
So he shows up on the feed, and my niece was like, "Who's Cat Williams?" And my sister's like, "Well, cusses a lot," and so she's like, "Well, I'll watch it, because she's like 10.
Shit, you're here. Let's check out
She's
some
like
prayer.
10, 11, 8, 12, I don't know, I can't remember. Anyways, so he comes on stage, he's like, "Motherfucker, blah, 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 motherfucker, blah, blah." And all of a sudden she's like, "Okay, I'm done." He cusses a lot. I'm like, yeah.
Well, my son likes Slipknot.
Dude, that Halloween costume was amazing.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yes.
Did you put that on the WIPP Instagram?
I put it on mine.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm trying to share my views. No, I didn't put it on there. It's really funny because he doesn't cuss. He's a really good kid for surprisingly. Well, obviously I'm awesome, but I mean, slightly piece of shitty dad. No, he's a really good kid, and it's funny watching him. Because I remember, I don't know if you remember how you had to talk around your parents. Like now you talk around your parents and you let shit slide. When you were younger, it was like you were meticulous about the words you used or the way you talked. And I know he doesn't do it in that sense, but it's really funny to watch him because we're in the car.
Yeah.
And he still kind of kills me buzz sometimes. And I'm like, "Yeah, this song's shit." And I'll turn it up. And he's like, "That's a little loud." I'm like, "Fuck you." in my truck like a fucking junior high principal? Fuck you. No, I don't say that.
He's racist.
But he goes like, yeah, he gets all like, "That's a little loud." And then leave. I don't know what to tell you. My truck.
That's funny.
I remember the first time.
Driver picks the music. Passenger shuts up. Listen to it.
Could you turn that down? I'm reading.
I remember the first time I cussed in front of my mom. This is when I was in college. I came home and I said the word shit, and I was like, I stopped real quick in my tracks. And I'm just staring at her. I'm like, is she gonna like react to this? Is she gonna get mad? But she didn't. So I was like, oh sweet. I was like, I could cuss in front
Shitty
of my
shit,
mom.
shit. Shitty shit, shit.
And then I said the word later on in life. I said fuck in front of her, and I was like, and I still stopped myself. I was looking at her. I'm like, is she gonna? Nope. Okay, cool. We're good. I'm in the clear.
That's funny.
No, and when we were in the truck about the cussing, and he's like, it's a song, whatever the song says, and when he gets to that word, he doesn't look at me like a, oh shit. Like, what he does is he's singing the lyrics, and then he just pauses, and then he keeps going, and
He
sometimes
censors
it's just,
himself?
No, he doesn't say it to himself.
No, he censors
doesn't.
himself.
What?
He censors himself.
Yeah, he censors himself completely. Like not even like mouthing the word, nothing. Just people equal. People. I'm like,
That's not how it goes.
oh, did I tell you that story?
No.
My son's a great kid. He's not. At least I hope he's not rude to people.
How old is he?
What is on 9? He just turned 9. He's not really not disrespectful to people, at least around me, that I've noticed. But I don't know what he's like. He's probably a monster when he's not around me.
He's scared around you.
What?
He's scared around
I
you.
know. I don't beat him either. It's just weird. But anyway, he. Oh shit! What was I getting? Oh, that's much. Oh yeah, he's not rude to. He's not rude to people. Like he's like childish. Not socially always aware rude sometimes, where he'll come in and start talking like, "Hey, you gotta say excuse me or fucking ask a question, dude." Just jump into a story. We don't even know you right now. But the one thing he does do, like, and I've always played music around him.
Yeah.
And there's another funny story to that. I don't know why I'm telling stories about my son on the fucking podcast, but if you're listening to music and you're singing, and it's a song he knows, and you start fucking up on the words, he'll go, "Don't do that."
You're not good at
Like, that's where I got that from. He's like, "Don't do that."
now.
And in my head, I pictured him going, "You're not good at that. You should stop."
Yeah, this asshole did that to me one day at work. I was having a good time at work, enjoying it in the moment with the song, just having fun. You know.
You were doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I was, but I was also having fun. And then he looks at me and he goes, "What'd you say? You're not good at that.
She's like,
You should just stop. You're not good at that."
I
I was
looked at-
like, "The fuck?"
she's singing crappily on purpose.
Yeah.
And we're all joking about different stuff. She started singing. I looked at her. I'm like, "You're not good at that. You should stop." She's like, I was like,
Fuck you then.
"It was a joke because you were you were singing. Remember?"
My wife does this thing to my kids where if, like, Marilyn will be singing along with some she'll be like singing some Evanescence song in the back seat, and my wife will go, "Who sings that?"
Oh, yeah.
Evanescence. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, there's a guy at work that does that. He's awesome at it.
Me right now. That's who fucking sings it. Last one.
That's funny.
But yeah, my son. The other one was he's never selfish with his toys. He's the only child. He's not really selfish with his stuff because it's all his.
Yeah.
And there's all these kids in his room ripping shit apart because my wife's like, you get done playing with the toy, you put it away. And kids come over and they're like, "We take everything out all the time and figure out what we want to play with." And my wife's like,
Urge to kill.
like my son, he has a little netbook,
Yeah.
like just that little Dell, the blue, they come in different colors.
Yeah.
Just that, so you can Google shit. And he has an old phone an old like iPhone that we had to listen to music on, and I think a DS.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I made him like this way or my wife did, but when people are coming over, if he knows certain kids are coming over,
Yeah,
he'll hand them to my wife. "Could you put these away, please?" I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, he's a genius.
But the fucked up thing is he doesn't take anything away from kids. Like, I've seen him playing with something, and he's older now, but at the time he was probably 5 or 6. He was playing with something, and a little kid smashes it out of his hands and just takes it, and I'm like, "Is he gonna regulate on this kid?" And he's like, "Well." He kind of walks away. He loves music. He had this Major guitar from Cars.
Yeah.
It's his plastic guitar. That was tuned. And he's watching a video because he's always, we had like Vivo and stuff on and I bought music on the Apple TV, and he's sitting there listening to it. And he hears the guitar strum. He turns around, pulls it out of their hands, puts it back on the stand, and goes, "Please don't play with that." He goes back. There's kids ripping the fucking room apart, but this little girl goes, "Broom," and he's like, "Please don't play with that." It just goes back to watching the TV. I was like, "Damn."
Oh, that's awesome.
He's got his limits. He's good. Because at first I thought, I'm like, these kids are fucking up your room, dude. Do something. No. But as soon as I could hear that guitar strum, he's like, "This motherfucker." Off limits.
That's rad.
Yeah. He's a good kid. Remember when this is a podcast about art and then we just talked about adult
My
stuff and I got
cats
really
are
sad?
great cats.
You only have
great.
one cat.
Yeah, I only have one, but I'm watching another one right now. So, Bo's a great cat. That's my only kid story I have.
That's the same as me.
Kids are like pets. In that, I like my kid.
Yeah.
I don't give a poke about your kids. Not yours specifically. I've met your daughters. They're nice. Yeah. let me show you things about my kids, which is basically what we just did. But
Yeah.
you know, people get. Well, I did meet a crazy dog lady. We have friends. I have friends that are like, I'm a dog mom. Like, it's funny. Like, I love my dogs. Cool, great. I heard this one lady talking about how her dogs are her kids, and what she meant was her dogs are children, and they're babies and they're hers. And I was like, oh, okay, that's, you know, and I'm kind of like, dogs aren't, they're dogs.
Yeah.
They're not kids. No, and like she's making like, you know, when you're talking to people, sometimes you'll jump on the other side of the argument just to keep the conversation rolling.
Yeah.
She's doing that.
Whoa.
And some people say that they're not like kids, but they are just like kids. This one has this attitude and blah blah. I was like, oh, crazy cat lady, it's fine. And she's like, but no, they're just like kids. So when people act like this and that, I'm like, how many hours a day do you work? You know, why don't you leave your kids at home for 8 hours? See what happens. You'll get a fun phone call. Leave your dog at home for 8 hours, nobody gives a fuck. But she was like trying to convince everybody. Like, obviously they're basically children. I was like, they're fucking dogs. I love my dogs. I will fucking, they go to the vet, they're taken care of.
Yeah.
They sleep on my fucking bed. I love my dog.
Yeah.
But when she started going high and right with this, like, they're just like kids. No, they're fucking not. They're just like dogs.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I have 4 cats.
Where are your dogs right now? At home. You're a fucking terrible mother.
I have 4 cats. I love my cats, but I mean, yeah, they are not like my
Like,
kids.
I don't want children, bitch.
They're not I already have children. They are nothing like them.
You don't tuck them in at night?
Nope, they don't ask for shit. They meow. They meow every now and then, and I'm just like, I can just ignore you. It's fine. I do that to my kids sometimes too, but you know, eventually someone's gonna cave and we're gonna end up having to buy them, you know, food.
Didn't you guys eat yesterday? Fuck.
The cats eat once a day. Why can't you guys?
Portions. Yeah. No, I thought that lady was like intense. Jesus.
That's hilarious.
They're just like kids. Like, oh, you can't leave your kids at home for 10 hours, 8 hours. So,
You're wrong.
this was a fun podcast, Aaron. You should come back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He's like, I'm not gonna do it, but it means a lot.
No, thank you for inviting me and having me on. Hope I.
We wanted to have you on before you had Rachel on, but that didn't work. So.
She just kind of stuck around. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys.
Dale was nice enough to take out the part in the first podcast where he said, "This is our guest, Rachel."
What's that guy from The Office who is it from The Office? He got fired, but he never leaves.
Oh, Office Space.
Office Space, yeah.
Some Milton. No, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, we're here whenever we do this, so
No, it was fun. I had a blast.
Good.
I'm glad.
I hope you guys felt like I brought something to the
Oh, yeah.
to the conversation or something. But
I think we're all a little rusty from not
Yeah,
having done
that's
this in
true.
so long.
How long were we off for? 2 months?
2.5 months.
From
at
actually
least?
doing a
Yeah.
podcast,
I can't remember the last time we posted one. But
It's 2 months ago. That's what it said on YouTube.
it's funny for Tube University. I don't have a schedule of when I release videos. It's roughly every 2 weeks ish. So sometimes like I'll film something and then I'll edit it that day or the next day, and then I'll put it up right when I'm done editing it, and then I have a sigh of relief. I'm like, cool. I don't have to do shit for 2 weeks. But then the 2 weeks comes and I'm like, oh, I have no topic. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's basically us.
I'm going to start suggesting topics.
That
I
would
will
be
try
cool.
to start
Yeah, if you
suggesting.
guys could, because I scraped the bottom of the barrel of my ideas.
Building an atomic bomb.
Yeah, there's like you could do anything. Everything is on YouTube. I did like 5 things. I'm like, I don't know what else to do.
That King of Random guy.
I have done all 5 things.
I've done all 5 things. I've done all 5 things that I've ever made on that have ever been done.
I tried to get you to come over and help rebuild my house, remodel my house.
My wife would kill me because I'm supposed to be doing my house.
You know, I actually
Oh, we have a toilet that's broken, but you're installing a ceiling fan at Rachel's house. Thanks.
I had that conversation with my wife when she.
Practice, learning,
Yeah.
learning.
I had that conversation with my wife when her friends brought it up, and I was like, "Yeah, you know what the big difference is between helping somebody else out? What? They paid for all the shit.
Yeah.
You want to pay for everything? I'll put it in."
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll call it quits there.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep it going.
No, it's cool.
No.
No, absolutely.
Might have set a new record.
Why?
Might be the longest podcast we've done so far.
How long was it?
Huh?
How long is it?
2 hours.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I think we covered a lot of good stuff. Good
You
stories.
cut it in two.
Hmm?
Cut it in two. Episode 21.1.
Yeah.
21. Episode 21 and episode 21S.
We can leave. We can leave episode 21 on a cliffhanger.
We could do that.
Tubbs like, yeah. So then my kid. Okay, that's this episode. Tune in whatever the hell next. To
All right,
find out what's
everybody.
up with Tubbs' kid.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.